As many of you know, April and May have been really wet months here in the Mid-South, and even today we have another weather system that's coming through late this evening and into tomorrow and Friday. So cotton that's been planted at the first part of this week is really going to have some tough emergence conditions, which means that next week and the week after we're going to be assessing crop stands for replant decisions. And those replant decisions can be some of the toughest decisions we make all year long. One of the things we got to consider for that replant decision is the calendar date. Generally, if we can get our cotton crop planted here in Arkansas and the Missouri Boot Heel before the end of May, we're going to retain about 95% of our yield potential. We can still raise a good crop with the amount of season we have left. So I'm not too concerned about the planting date until we get toward the end of May, end of June. The next thing would be to assess the number of plants per acre as well as the uniformity of that cotton stand. We routinely have people that keep cotton stands that are less than 30,000 per acre. That's generally because those stands are extremely uniform and they were intended to plant that low. However, if you're in a replant situation, the thing that you need to manage is really the stand uniformity. So if you measure off 100 feet a row with a tape measure, take your yardstick out there and look for the number of gaps that are over 3 feet long. If you have more than 8 3-foot gaps in a 100-foot a row, then that you probably could justify a replant. One of the common questions we get is about spot planting, or maybe I need to replant the lower end of the field, but the top end of the field is just fine. That would be okay if you can get right back into that field and make the replant. However, what we don't want to get into is a situation where we have a late crop in the bottom of the field and an early crop in the top half. All the herbicide, insecticide applications, all of the irrigation and management decisions from that point on are really just going to be problematic for that field, because you'll be trying to hit the average of the field, and it's not going to be well timed for either the early or the late crop. So my advice is that if you get into a situation where you just have a justifiable replant, destroy the entire crop in that field and start over. These are some of the most stressful and hard decisions to make. So if you've got any questions, feel free to reach out to myself or your local phytogen territory manager. We'll be more than happy to help you any way we can.